All right, guys, so I'm gonna break down how I bought this midterm rental with no money out of my pocket. So right now, midterm rentals are kind of the up and coming thing as far as new rentals, just because the way the market is right now. Your guests are like usually traveling professionals, traveling nurses are really big. Insurance companies, like Dan Housing, ALE Solution, just going on Furnish Finder is a really good. So what I heard about Furnish Finder is that Furnish Finder is like almost like a discounted midterm rental place, a marketplace. You'll at least find some tenants there, but that's not really real money that like when you're doing midterm rentals. The real money is that when you do contracts, like with these hospitals, these HR recruiters and agencies, when you're doing contracts with those guys over like the hospitals that they work with. And you usually have to build up a good sized rapport with the recruiter. So if you're taking this seriously as like an investment strategy, you gotta do the work. You got to do the work that's going to get you the big bucks for it. Otherwise, you can go to the discount marketplace. So for this particular property, we are in Atlanta, Georgia. This property we're looking at it more towards as a midterm rental just because it's near a couple good hospitals. What we did is we looked up different hospital clusters in the area of the marketplace. And this is like around a few good tier 1 hospitals, which are the ones that are like pretty big, that have like the most beds and stuff like that. That's when they're gonna have like a lot more nurses try to go there because there's so much attention that's needed. Like the ratio from nurse to patient has to be like at a certain ratio. So I actually found this property from 2 new teammates. The previous seller just didn't want to manage the property. The way we acquired this property, we acquired it through going through Subject 2. Took over the existing mortgage, paid off the seller. We worked out the numbers as far as where we need to be at, and I'll break that down. All right, so the asking price was $260,000. They still had a mortgage balance for $220,000. So basically they had $40,000 in equity between their principal balance payoff and what they were asking for. So I had to pay them $40K up front to have them walk away and let me take over their mortgage, their existing mortgage. So their existing mortgage was $1,300. That includes principal, interest, taxes, and insurance altogether. Now, with the utilities included, that ended up being around $1,800. He actually gave me the utilities bills and everything that he pays, so he gave me a good idea of where I need to be at. So $1,800 a month is what added with the utilities. Now, I also have a 20% war chest in here. War chest, again, meaning if anything were to happen with the house, repair-wise, HVAC goes out, flood, anything kind of happens to the property, roof goes bad, I'm putting money aside to make sure that I'm paying that every single month. So that's part of this. Also, my management fee. Like I said, I am self-managing this one. So I'm going to end up paying myself until I end up scaling out, and then I end up getting my property management business going. Then my property management business is going to start getting the percentages towards the management fee. And also my vacancy. Say I have to, a flood happens, I have to evict somebody, or I'm really slow on months, or, I don't get the turnout I'm looking for immediately. I'm making sure I'm putting money aside for my vacancy as well. So all that is wrapped up into my war chest. So I'm making sure I put 20% aside a month to make sure I can take care of things that, like I said, worst case scenario. Also, I'm paying off my private money lender. So to get this $40K, I had to go ask one of my private money lenders to go fund a deal for me. So they were interested in the deal. They saw the potential in it, and they are getting a return for $400 a month on the return for their money. So going on to the contract, a week before we even closed on this property, I ended up getting a tenant from one of the guest from one of the hospitals already. Because like I said, I'm going up to these guys, the HR departments, and talking to these agencies and the recruiters. And so they actually had somebody that wanted to stay with me before I even closed for 2 months, 2 months stay. So they got a contract for $4,000 a month with these hospitals. So if my gross revenue income is $4,000 a month, take away the $1,800 from expenses, take away from my war chest $800, take away what I owe my private money lender every single month $400, I'm cash flowing net potentially $1,000 a month. Going from no money out of my pocket to cash flowing $1,000 a month, that's a win all day long. So when dealing with Subject 2, it was very essential for me to learn this because I started with no money. I didn't have great credit. I didn't do all that. And I still wanted to get involved in real estate. So when working with Subject 2, this is the way I was able to get get a better rate as far as like not having to pay that high 7%. I think is that 7% interest rates right now. I'm actually only paying a lower amount, significantly lower, and I'm able to cash flow now. Even if it's a regular rental, I could probably still cash flow with it. Great thing is this one was already set up as an Airbnb, so didn't have to put in furniture, ended up buying all that with it, and it made it an easy turnover to make it a midterm rental because it's already furnished. When preparing this property, it was really, like I said, kind of simple. For this case, it was already started as an Airbnb, already furnished. Everything was cute, clean, all that was good. But yeah, it was no but. I made sure I followed just to optimize my Airbnb guy. Daniel, optimize my Airbnb. I followed a lot of his tips as far as wording the title into like just the amenities. So on this one, it's just really simple amenities on it. The description box, I'm making it very bullet point, kind of wording. So it's just straight to like what I got to offer. I'm self-managing this one. So I am learning this because I want to start a property management company pretty soon. So I'm trying to learn it myself before I start doing that. Working with dynamic pricing, just like hotels are doing. So you don't want to have a stagnant price throughout the year. You want to have like your prices fluctuate based off the demand factor. And Price Labs is really one good software to use. It tells you like the market analysis, tells me how I should base my prices, my baseline price at. It schedules my pricing for me based off like the other Airbnbs in the area. So I'm not really kind of losing money or leaving money on the table. So I definitely suggest using Price Labs. This is one I'm using, and I'm working a PMS system called Hospitable as well. Hospitable has been really cool. It's really easy. Already has template replies for you, so you can make sure you don't miss a review, you don't miss. And I'm not promoting any of this. This is just what I'm using. Keeps so you don't get double booking whenever I'm posting on VRBO and Booking.com and Airbnb. And so guys, I do want to make that sure that's important. Even though I am running this as a midterm rental, things happen. Maybe I lose a contract, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't bring as much money as I wanted to, but it's really high for Airbnb. I'm gonna test all those numbers. So again, it is framed for a midterm rental, but I have to be able to pivot based off what the market's kind of giving me. Maybe a hospital shuts down or something like that, and that kind of shrinks my revenue. I don't know. So I want to just make sure I keep everything in factor. So I am going to list on the other websites, but I'm going to give them priority, the hospitals, contracts I have and stuff like that. And if I don't, then I just still can keep track of what I need to fill in. When it comes to property management, I want you guys to also make sure that you're keeping track of things like, keeping up with supplies. What kind of supplies do you need for a midterm rental? I have, dark curtains, air or box fans, stuff like that traveling artists like really need and like. It's very simplistic when it comes to midterm rentals. They just want a nice little area that has nice looking, decor. Maybe they can bring their family. Maybe you can, partner up with another nurse that they're working with, and they all kind of go over there like, oh, it's a nice little cute house right by a job. Kind of just making sure I keep kind of that. That's a lot of factors you just gotta kind of keep in on a deeper sense of like knowing your guests and truly being hospitable. So altogether, you want to make sure that you do your due diligence in finding the property. Make sure you look at the location, look at the clusters like I was talking about, look at the hospital grade level, all that kind of stuff. Get in contact with the HR departments, get in contact with the recruiters, the agencies, talk to those guys, build up a rapport, get these contracts, get paid the max amount of money for a contract. Go to these insurance agencies. Do the same. Like, get on the phone and talk to those. Like, I actually went all the way up to like the I don't know, she wasn't the CEO, but she was like the district regional director person. And I went like all the way up to her, and I was like, hey, like, I have these properties I'm looking at. Like, she's like, I really like how you just came all the way up to the top. Like, they appreciate stuff like that, and they take you seriously for future investments. So yeah, take the time to do that work, because this don't pay off. If you actually don't take it seriously and be financially free, that's what you should do. If you're just trying to be in and just to get in and have something, I mean, you can do it too, but it's not gonna be as enjoyable. So I appreciate you for watching, and if you can leave any comments or any updates on anything that you have any questions about, or anything, honestly, just drop it in the comment. I'll read all those all the time, so leave it in there. I'll get back to you guys. I may do like a reply type of series thing where I'll just read off all the replies or all the questions I have and then answer them on another episode. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and stay invested.
Investor Puppy, yo!